we think that definitely this will have a substantial impact, not just for us, but also for our member organizations, which are part of the network. And there are many other organizations that are in Kosovo. As you know, USAID has been the second largest donor in Kosovo after the European Union. And it will impact their contractors, subcontractors, implementing organizations. We already have been informed by a couple of NGOs that are members of the network that their funding has been stopped, and everybody is uncertain what will happen and how this will continue. So there are projects that have been running 2-3 years or even a year, just kicked off, and they were just cut off. And this is very worrisome, I have to say, especially in our area where we have instability, and financial instability can cause even more potential unrest or potential problems in implementation. Yeah, we don't actually know exactly the numbers of how many people have been affected by this. We know that we are worried additionally, since the executive order has mentioned also banning projects which are related to gender and diversity. And this is a struggle that Kosovo has been in the last 25 years working a lot. And it's a topic that we need to have more support here, and especially also from international community. And this might leave women's groups really stranded and unsupported by the majority, because it's not easy to push these issues. So especially in these projects, we need to see what will happen and how gender and diversity will be continued, in what forms.
In Kosovo, there are currently 18 projects that are funded by USAID with a budget of around 157 million euros that are affected by the suspension of funds. There may be also additional USAID funding through other sources and that are not structured through specific projects. Actually, the most affected institutions from this radical shift are the public institutions in Kosovo, who have been benefiting from a lot of support from USAID funding, be that on conducting specific reforms, improving the practices of taxation.
I'm afraid that with this kind of support, stronger narratives that stand against human rights and stand against democracy and rule of law will actually become more visible, and that it's also going to have an effect on marginalized communities such as the LGBTI community as well. So this is something that we're already seeing in the public sphere. Most of the people that had very anti-LGBTI or anti-democratic, and I would say even authoritarian tendencies are going to be emboldened by the current situation, and then they can also be more emboldened by the fact that some of the countries that want to exert their own influence through some of these projects are also going to spread this narrative even further. What I currently know is that organizations that have been dependent on the USAID funding, especially smaller organizations, are going to be very much affected and already are. For their work, I'm not sure that they will be able to continue as they did previously. What I know is that several of the organizations that are our partners are going to continue their work, as well as Sarajevo Open Center. But again, as I said, my worry is that this also creates a general atmosphere where the work of civil society is seen as something that is not good, that is not positive. And I think both our local governments and as well as the European Union needs to send a strong message that civil society is something that is also a cornerstone of a democratic society. I think EU should step in, definitely. This is a vacuum that is now being opened for as well as some potential malign influence, but also to a more positive European influence. And I hope that this actually will be a strong signal to the European Union to actually extend more support, not just financial, but any kind of support to Bosnia and Herzegovina and generally countries in the region who are on their way to become EU members.